Hello my friends, Dr. Mandell here. As we age, the body begins to speak to us in subtle ways: joint stiffness, loss of balance, slower movements. But do you know which part of your body often weakens first? It's the legs. That's right. Your leg muscles are usually the first to lose strength. And when that happens, it doesn't just slow you down, it affects your independence, your confidence, and your quality of life. But here's the good news. Nature has already given us what we need. Powerful healing foods that can rebuild, restore, and reignite the strength in those legs. And today I'm going to share 6 of the most powerful foods that will help you strengthen your legs naturally, safely, and effectively. My friends, if there's one part of your body that you cannot afford to neglect as you age, it's your legs. Yes, your legs are the foundation of your mobility. They carry the weight of your entire body, step by step, every single day. But here's something that most people don't realize until it's too late. Your legs are usually the first to weaken as you age. Not your arms, not your back. It's the legs, the quads, hamstrings, calves, glutes. They start to shrink and lose strength before you even notice it happening. You might think, well, I walk around the house, I do my chores. Isn't that enough? Unfortunately, no. That kind of movement doesn't sufficiently challenge or stimulate the muscles the way they need to be. And over time, what happens? You go from walking easily to struggling upstairs. You go from walking around the block to needing a walker or support. And slowly your world gets smaller, not because of your age, but because of your muscle loss. This condition has a name, sarcopenia, and it's something most people over 60 experience to some degree. Sarcopenia is the age-related loss of skeletal muscle mass and strength, and it starts as early as your 30s. But here's the kicker: by the time you're in your 60s, you can lose up to 3 to 5% of your muscle mass every decade, and the legs, they're the first to go. Why? Because they carry more load than any other muscle group. They're used every time you stand, walk, rise from a chair, climb stairs, or keep your balance. The larger the muscle, the more it deteriorates when it's not being used enough or not being nourished properly. And once your legs start weakening, your balance suffers, your mobility declines, and your risk of falling skyrockets. Now think about this. Most falls in seniors happen not because of poor vision or slippery floors, but because of weak leg muscles. You misstep, you can't catch yourself in time, and one fall can change your life. I've seen it too many times. A hip fracture leads to surgery, then immobility, and in many cases, permanent loss of independence. It all begins with leg weakness. But let me tell you something important, and I want you to let this sink in deeply. Your body is capable of healing and rebuilding no matter how old you are. Your muscles don't know your age. They respond to what you feed them. They respond to movement. They respond to attention. I've worked with patients well into their 70s and 80s who turned their health around simply by focusing on their legs, by making small daily changes in what they ate and how they moved, and the results were incredible. They were walking faster, standing taller, most importantly, they felt confident again. You see, the legs are more than just muscles. They are your independence. They are the key to staying active, maintaining your social life, going to the grocery store, playing with your grandkids, and even just getting out of bed safely. When the legs are strong, you are strong. Now here's another piece of the puzzle, and this is what most people overlook. Weak legs aren't just about inactivity, they're about nutrition. If your body doesn't have the right building blocks, the right proteins, minerals, vitamins, and anti-inflammatory nutrients, your muscles can't grow no matter how much you move them. And this is especially true for your legs. Think of your legs like a house. The foundation needs constant reinforcement. If you're not giving it what it needs, it starts to crumble from the base up. You need to feed the legs what they crave: magnesium for muscle relaxation, potassium for cramp prevention, protein for muscle building, and anti-inflammatory foods to prevent tissue breakdown. And this is where food comes into play. Nature has given us everything we need to rebuild our strength. We just have to put the right things on our plate. You can't expect to have strong legs if you're eating processed foods, refined sugars, and skipping out on essential nutrients. That's like trying to build a house with rotting wood. Even something like hydration plays a role. Dehydration leads to muscle fatigue, cramping, and decreased performance. And many older adults don't drink enough water, especially in warmer climates or when taking medications that act as diuretics. That creates a dangerous cycle of weakness, dizziness, and poor circulation, all of which affect your legs first. Another point, the nervous system. Your brain sends signals to your legs through nerves. If you're lacking nutrients like vitamin B12, omega-3 fatty acids, or you're dealing with chronic inflammation, that signal weakens, the communication breaks down, and you lose coordination, speed, and strength. That's how many seniors begin to shuffle their feet, not because they want to, but because they can't lift their legs the way they used to. But there is hope, tremendous hope. Every bite you take can either feed your strength or feed your weakness, and that's the truth. The foods you choose today will determine your mobility tomorrow. Now imagine this, you start eating foods rich in magnesium like spinach and pumpkin seeds. You begin incorporating high-quality proteins like eggs and Greek yogurt. You add anti-inflammatory foods like wild salmon and omega-3 rich walnuts. You boost your nitric oxide levels with beets and leafy greens to improve circulation. You stay hydrated, support your nerves with B vitamins, and give your muscles what they need to thrive. What happens next? You start noticing less cramping. You feel steadier on your feet. You wake up with more energy. You can walk farther. You can stand longer. You feel more in control. That's what food can do. That's what simple, consistent action does over time. So I want you to make a promise to yourself. Don't wait until you can't walk to start working on your legs. Don't wait until the pain shows up. Don't wait until after the fall. Your legs are calling for your attention now. Answer them with movement. Answer them with nutrition. Answer them with self-love. It's never too late to rebuild. Your legs are ready. Your body is listening. All you have to do is start. Much love. Let's talk about something so simple yet so powerful, something that grows from the earth and can literally change the way your body feels, moves, and functions. And that is spinach. Yes, that humble green leaf that many people overlook or push to the side of their plate. But let me tell you, this is one of the most healing, strengthening, and energizing foods you can put into your body, especially as you age. Now here's the truth, most people don't realize your muscles, especially your legs, cannot contract or function properly without magnesium. That's right, magnesium is one of the most essential minerals for the human body, and yet over 60% of adults are deficient in it. And guess what happens when you're deficient? You feel weak, you feel tired, your legs cramp, your balance gets worse, and your body simply doesn't move the way it used to. You may think you're just getting old, that this is a normal part of aging, but that's not true. Many of the symptoms you're feeling, especially in your legs, could be related to low magnesium levels. And spinach is one of the most powerful natural sources of this vital mineral. When you eat spinach, you're feeding your muscles what they need to contract and relax properly. That's what magnesium does. It regulates the neuromuscular signals between your brain and your muscles. Without enough magnesium, those signals become weak or irregular. That's when you start to feel things like leg heaviness, spasms, restless legs, or that feeling like your legs just don't want to move. It's not all in your head. It's a real biological reaction happening at the cellular level. Spinach is also rich in potassium, another critical mineral for muscle and nerve function. Potassium works hand in hand with magnesium to maintain the electrical gradients that allow your muscles to function. When your body is low in potassium, something that happens easily if you're taking diuretics, if you sweat a lot, or if you're not eating enough vegetables, you can experience muscle weakness, fatigue, and even irregular heart rhythms. So now we have this one food, spinach, and it's giving you magnesium, potassium, and even iron, which is crucial for oxygen transport to your leg muscles. Because remember, muscles need oxygen to function. When you're low in iron, your red blood cells can't carry enough oxygen. That leads to fatigue, sluggishness, and poor endurance, especially in your legs and larger muscle groups. Let me explain it in a simple way. Imagine your legs are like an engine. That engine needs clean fuel, nutrients, electrical wiring, nerves, and oxygen circulation. Without those three working together, the engine starts to sputter. It can't go uphill, it can't accelerate, and eventually it stalls. Spinach supports all three, fueling your muscles, supporting your nervous system, and enhancing blood flow by providing iron and nitrates that help open up your blood vessels. And here's another piece most people miss: vitamin K. Spinach is rich in this vitamin, and it plays a crucial role in bone strength and blood clotting. Why does this matter? Because your legs are not just muscle, they are built on a framework of bone. If your bones are brittle or weak, your leg strength can't be fully supported. Vitamin K works synergistically with calcium and vitamin D to keep your skeletal system strong and resilient. Now let's talk about inflammation. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is one of the biggest contributors to muscle breakdown as you age. It slowly wears away at your joints, your nerves, and your muscle fibers. And if you're eating processed foods, refined sugars, and lacking antioxidants, that inflammation continues to smolder beneath the surface. Spinach is packed with anti-inflammatory compounds like vitamin C, flavonoids, and carotenoids, which help to neutralize free radicals and protect your muscle tissues from oxidative stress. Here's something I want you to understand deeply. Your muscles are constantly in a state of breakdown and repair. That's normal, but as you get older, the repair process slows down unless you give your body the nutrients it needs to rebuild. And that's exactly where foods like spinach come in. They support the repair process, reduce inflammation, and help prevent muscle atrophy, especially in the legs. If you've ever experienced that heavy leg feeling while walking, or you feel like you need to sit down after just a short distance, or your legs ache at night, these are all signals from your body that something is missing. Your body is incredibly intelligent. It's always giving you clues. And when it comes to leg weakness, those clues often point to nutritional deficiencies, especially in minerals like magnesium and potassium. So how can you get more spinach into your life? It's easy. Start simple. Add a handful to your morning smoothie. You won't even taste it. Saute it in a little olive oil with garlic as a side dish. Toss it into soups, stews, omelets, or stir fries. Use it as the base for your salad instead of iceberg lettuce. The more often you eat it, the more your body begins to rebuild and rejuvenate from the inside out. And don't worry about overdoing it. Spinach is incredibly gentle on the digestive system and very low in calories, while being high in volume, meaning it fills you up and supports healthy weight management, which also reduces pressure on your knees and legs. One word of caution: if you're on blood thinners like warfarin, talk to your doctor before drastically increasing your intake of vitamin K rich foods like spinach. You don't have to avoid it. Just be consistent with your intake so your medication levels can be properly managed. Let me leave you with this: small changes add up to big results. 1 cup of spinach a day may seem insignificant, but over time it can help correct years of deficiency, support your muscle function, enhance your circulation, and reduce inflammation, all of which are critical for keeping your legs strong and stable. You don't need fancy supplements or expensive treatments to start getting better. You need the right information, the right mindset, and the right foods. And spinach, this beautiful green gift from the earth, is one of the best places to start. Feed your body with intention, heal it with nutrition, and remember, strength isn't just about lifting weights, it's about what you choose to put on your plate. Your body is like a finely tuned machine, my friends. And just like any machine, it needs fuel. Not just any fuel, but the kind that burns clean, provides steady energy, supports your muscles, and keeps your engine running strong. Especially the part of your body that carries the most load, your legs. When it comes to restoring and strengthening your legs, there are 2 incredible foods I want to focus on today: sweet potatoes and beets. These are not trendy superfoods for social media. These are time-tested, natural, nutrient-packed powerhouses that do more for your legs than most supplements ever could. Let's start with sweet potatoes. These vibrant orange root vegetables are not only delicious, but they're loaded with complex carbohydrates. Now, before you panic and think carbs are bad, let me clear that up. Not all carbs are created equal. The carbs in sweet potatoes are the good kind, the kind that release energy slowly and steadily into your bloodstream. That's exactly what your leg muscles need to function properly. You see, your muscles, especially the large ones in your legs, rely on a stored form of glucose called glycogen. It's like fuel stored in a tank. When you walk, climb stairs, or get up from a chair, your muscles draw on glycogen for energy. And where does that glycogen come from? From carbohydrates. If you're not getting enough quality carbs, your glycogen tanks run dry and your legs feel weak, shaky, and tired. Now here's where sweet potatoes shine. They're rich in fiber, which slows down digestion and prevents blood sugar spikes. That means you get sustained energy, not a quick rush followed by a crash. They're also loaded with vitamin C, beta carotene, and B vitamins, all essential for cellular energy production and nerve function. Those nerves control your muscles, remember, and without good nerve communication, your legs won't respond the way they should. Sweet potatoes are also a fantastic source of potassium, and potassium is one of the most important electrolytes for muscular function. Every time your leg muscles contract and relax, they're using potassium. If you're low in it, which many seniors are, especially those taking blood pressure or heart medications, you can experience cramping, weakness, and even muscle spasms. Now let's not forget potassium also helps balance sodium in the body. That helps reduce water retention and blood pressure, improving circulation to the lower extremities. When your legs aren't getting enough blood flow, they get stiff, achy, and fatigue more easily. So by adding potassium-rich foods like sweet potatoes to your plate, you're literally improving energy and circulation in your legs. And don't be afraid of eating sweet potatoes regularly. They are incredibly versatile. You can roast them, mash them, bake them, air fry them, sprinkle some cinnamon on top, add a drizzle of olive oil. It's nature's medicine disguised as comfort food. Now let's move on to something a little more colorful and just as powerful, beets. These deep red roots are one of nature's most potent sources of natural nitrates. And if that sounds like a chemistry term, stay with me. Here's why this matters. When you eat beets, your body converts those nitrates into nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is a vasodilator, which means it helps open up your blood vessels. Think of your arteries like water pipes. Over time, those pipes can get stiff and narrow, but nitric oxide helps relax them, allowing more blood to flow through with less resistance. Why is that important for your legs? Because your leg muscles are furthest from your heart and they need good circulation to stay healthy. When blood flow is restricted, oxygen and nutrients can't reach your leg muscles efficiently. That leads to fatigue, pain, and delayed recovery after walking or exercising. This is why many people over 60 struggle with things like cold feet, tingling, numbness, or that heavy leg feeling. It's poor blood flow. And one of the most effective natural ways to improve circulation to your legs is by increasing nitric oxide levels through foods like beets. In fact, clinical studies have shown that beet juice can improve walking endurance and leg muscle performance in older adults, even those with peripheral artery disease or circulation issues. It helps oxygen reach the muscles more efficiently, so you feel more energized and less tired. But that's not all. Beets are also rich in folate, iron, and antioxidants, all of which support healthy red blood cells and oxygen delivery to the tissues. Iron is especially important because if you're low in it, your body can't produce enough hemoglobin, the protein in red blood cells that carries oxygen. That leads to fatigue, shortness of breath, and of course leg weakness. Beets are also anti-inflammatory. They help combat chronic inflammation that damages muscle tissue and slows recovery. Whether you're dealing with arthritis, muscle soreness, or nerve pain, the natural compounds in beets can help bring relief and healing. Now, some people tell me, Dr. Mandell, I don't like the taste of beets. I hear you, but you can work them into your meals in creative ways. Try roasting them with a little balsamic vinegar. Add them to a smoothie with banana and berries. You won't even taste the earthiness. Or drink a small glass of beet juice in the morning. Start with just a few ounces. Your body will feel the difference, even if your taste buds need time to catch up. I want you to think of sweet potatoes and beets as fuel and flow. Sweet potatoes give your muscles the energy to move. Beets help the blood deliver that energy efficiently. Together, they are a 1-2 punch for restoring leg strength, improving endurance, and reducing that tired, sluggish feeling in your lower body. Now remember, no food is magic on its own, but when you start stacking your habits, eating the right food, staying active, hydrating, and getting proper sleep, the body responds.